Family Association and AFA Today.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of AFA Today. Your regular host, Kevin McCullough, off today. Fred Jackson sitting in for Kevin. One thing I can say, the major story continues to be a focus on Washington and kind of the showdown over the so-called budget and debt ceiling limit, and you've heard it all by now. Now, the latest development is basically this morning. House Speaker John Boehner contacting the president saying, hey, listen, I'm not drawing any lines in the sand here. I'm willing to sit down and talk. Well, a short time ago, the president phoned John Boehner and said, I don't want to negotiate. Not interested. You guys do what I tell you, or, we're headed for a disaster here, according to the president. And he will reiterate that, I am told, in less than an hour. He's going to go back before the live cameras at around 1 o'clock Central and basically repeat what he's been repeating all the way along. So there you have it. The stalemate is continuing. Now, a lot of people are asking, okay, what's going to happen next Thursday? This is the supposed deadline for the debt ceiling limit, et cetera, et cetera. You've heard it all. And most people are saying, and Dan Celia of our own program, Financial Issues, reiterated this morning, do you know we have about $250 billion of income every month? That's your tax dollars that flow in to Washington. We only need about 20 billion of that, and I say only. We're talking billions of dollars here. We only need about 20 of that to meet our interest payments. So all the talk and the scare tactics about, the economy collapsing if something doesn't happen, which is what the Democrats keep saying over and over again, is just not the case. It does not have to happen. And of course, that's led to some people speculating, quite frankly, folks, is that the president really wants this. The stand, which I just said, which you repeated this morning, no negotiations, no talk about Obamacare, none of this. It has to be done my way. Some people think he wants it that way. Could it be? That's the case. Anyway, we'll wait and see what he has to say in about 15 minutes from now, and you'll hear it reported here in American Family News and at onenewsnow.com. Meantime, there is a new development with regards to the impact of the so-called government shutdown. Now, we have been reporting for the last several days, you've heard about this, about the barricades being put around national parks, such as the Open National Park, the World War II Veterans Park in Washington. And last week, on about the first day of activities, you heard about the delegation of veterans, World War II veterans from Mississippi, with the help of some of the members of Congress from Mississippi, basically broke through those barricades. Well, the barricades have been back up ever since. Now, there's been much talk, of course, of why do you need barricades around an open display? It's not like it's behind locked doors. Why do you need it? Well, the Democrats have responded, that's all part of the shutdown. It's not our fault. Well, listen to this, folks. I saw this story when I came into work this morning. Now, okay, let's set the scene again. The Democrats are saying, the president is saying, as a result of the shutdown, that all of these national parks are shut down. People are not allowed to go in. Well, apparently, there is an exception. The National Park Service is allowing an immigration reform rally, bracket promotion of amnesty program for illegals. They're allowing an immigration reform rally to go ahead today, as planned, on the National Mall, even though it's closed due to the federal shutdown. Susana Flores, a spokesperson for the Camino Americano March for Immigration Reform, confirmed that the Park Service will allow the event to take place under the group's rights granted by the First Amendment. So there you have it. Apparently, the shutdown or partial shutdown and its impact is kind of an ad hoc thing, that if you're with the right group and you have the right support, and by the way, this story that we have in front of us makes mention, is from the Washington Times, that House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi and Senator Robert Menendez, New Jersey Democrat, they're going to be there. They're going to be part of this. So the National Park Service, for the Democrats and their supporters who want this rally to support legalizing illegals in this country, the National Park Service says, oh, it's okay. We'll make sure that the accommodation is made for you. But juxtapose that against the World War II veterans, folks. And there's a different delegation from various states, I'm told, every day that come and they want to see this World War II memorial. They come and see that, but the National Park Service says, no, you can't come in. We're not going to allow you. But for this demonstration, Nancy Pelosi is there. Senator Robert Menendez of New Jersey, both Democrats, they're there, along with those who are promoting amnesty for illegal immigrants. The National Park Service says it's okay. We'll open the doors. You guys come on in. Do your demonstration. Where's the fairness there, folks? What is really the agenda? So there's two things going on here. Basically, the president reiterating this morning, and as I say, probably in about 50 minutes from now, when he goes before the cameras once again, I'm not sure he's going to do it from the Rose Garden or where he's going to do it. He's going to reiterate, no negotiations, tough stand. Do it my way or the highway. And at the same time, the National Park Service is saying to certain groups, we're not going to allow you to come in, but to other groups that the Democrats deem political allies to their cause, it's okay. How do you feel about that? I'd like to hear from you. 888-589-8840 is the number to call. 888-589-8840. That's the number to call. That's issue number one today. What is going on here? What is your political representative in Washington doing about this? What are they saying with regards to the agenda, apparently, of the president here? Now, here's another story about national parks. This from our friend Todd Starnes. He talks about folks who live in the Great Smoky Mountains. He says they've just about reached their breaking point with the federal government. It's almost like they are pushing to see how far they can push before the American people say enough is enough. Quoting Ed Mitchell, who's the mayor of Blount County, Tennessee, we were founded on a Declaration of Independence, and they're about to push the people to the line again. Now, what's this all about? Well, apparently, nearly a third of Blount County is inside the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So when the federal government shut down the park, it also shut down one of the area's chief sources of revenue. Now, the story gets worse from here, folks. The National Park Service also closed the Foothills Parkway, a major thoroughfare through the county. The closure came without warning and left the local school district scrambling to get children back to their homes because they use that parkway to get back and forth to school. The children, according to the story here, live in the eastern Tennessee community of Top of the World, serviced by School Bus 49. Normally, that bus travels along the Foothills Parkway. Other roads leading to the isolated mountain community are impassable by bus. Nancy Campus, a spokesperson for Blount County Schools, she says it's dangerous. This other road they have to take now. It's very curvy and straight up the mountain. It's just not a safe route. Now, does anybody really believe that the National Park Service could leave that parkway open so these kids could get back and forth to school safely? Folks, this story is being repeated a little bit later. I'll try to get to a story that involves the Yellowstone National Park Hotel, that people who were going to tour that park were held by National Park armed guards for a couple of hours the other day. This is the kind of nonsense that's going on out there. And remember, I understand if there's dangerous situations that you don't want people in there, in situations where normally you would have guards, where normally you would have National Park personnel. But once again, these are situations, these are cases where you don't need those personnel in order for people to pass by, to use a parkway, in order to get into the World War II veterans display in Washington. It's all open all the time. Normally there aren't Park Services people there. Do you believe there's really an agenda here to, as this spokesperson from the Great Smoky Mountains area says, it seems to be an agenda to make the American people just as angry as possible. We're going to do everything we can, it appears the Democrats and President Barack Obama say, we're going to do everything that we can to make your life miserable, and then we're going to blame it on the Republicans. I don't know. I think that's a very dangerous game to play. I fear. I mean, it has this case in the Great Smoky Mountains. What if one of these school buses goes off this dangerous alternative road? What then? I mean, do people have to be hurt? And I have to agree with the Ed Mitchell, the mayor of Blount County, Tennessee. Are people just going to continue to put up with this? I mean, people are going to get angry. And not for a minute are we condoning any kind of violent reaction to this. But, folks are getting pretty upset. And yeah, I'm sure there are opinions in our audience out there about who's to blame, the Republicans or the Democrats. But as we said off the top of the program here, John Boehner, House Speaker, said today, there are no lines in the sand here, folks. He's willing to sit down and talk, and let's come to an agreement. But President Barack Obama insisting, as of just an hour and a half ago, in a telephone conversation with John Boehner, I will not negotiate. You do what I tell you, and then maybe I'll sit down and talk about it. There you have it. 888-589-8840 is the number to call. 888-589-8840. We're going to go to our phones in just a second, but I do have to tell you, there's another kind of interesting story related to all of this, and it really has to do with Obamacare, of course. Let's not forget that's what really this is all about. And I was reading an article this morning. I believe it came from the Washington Times. No, pardon me, the Christian Science Monitor. Now listen to this. You've heard of the president sing the praises of Obamacare, of course, and that millions of people who allegedly can't afford health care insurance are getting it under Obamacare. But listen to this. This is a story about what we would call a person in the middle class who just makes too much money to be subsidized by the government under Obamacare. This man's name is Michael Gov't of Charlotte, North Carolina. He and his wife, retired in their late 50s, have been buying their own health insurance from Blue Cross and Blue Shield in North Carolina, paying about $380 a month premium, okay, with an $11,000 deductible. All right, they've just found out that under Obamacare, their monthly premium is going up to $1,124 a month, from $380 a month to $1,124 a month, and they still have an $11,000 deductible. Now, these stories are starting to come out. These are the people who work hard. Now, this particular couple is retired. They saved and saved and saved to retire. They've been able to afford to buy their own health care insurance. But now under Obamacare, what is that? Almost triple? Monthly premiums with the same deductible. So you see, folks, there's a whole bunch of people. We've been saying this all the way along, folks, since Obamacare was talked about back just shortly after the election, 2008. There's a whole group of people out there that are going to be paying a whole lot more for everybody else. 888-589-8840. 888-589-8840 is the number to call. We're coming right back to AFA Today after this break.